please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
Yeah.
I
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mayor Rowe,
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Miller,
Present.
Councilman Racy,
Here.
Councilman Porter, he's out ill today. Councilman Sanders is also out ill, they phoned. Councilman Gabriel,
Present.
Councilman Webster.
Here.
You do have a quorum with 5 members present.
Thank you.
Madam Mayor,
Yes,
do we need a
Yes,
motion for
please.
excusing?
please.
I'll make the motion to excuse both council members.
Support.
Okay, it's been moved and supported to excuse Councilman Sanders and Councilman Porter due to illness, and they all notified me. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Item 1, there's a moment of silence
Yes.
for Monifa Beydoun Hadas. This is Al Haddas's mother who passed away.
Yes, she passed away on Christmas Eve, unfortunately. Thank you.
Item 1 is to approve the agenda.
Move approval.
Support.
It's been moved by Councilman Ryan, supported by Councilman Webster. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
Next item is item 2, City Council minutes. Item 2A are the regular meeting minutes of December 19th.
Move approval.
Support.
It's been moved by Councilman Racy and supported by Councilman Gabriel. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Item 3 are business licenses and permits. Item 3A is to approve a materials recovery facility license for Broom Auto Parts at 4322 Walker.
Move approval.
Support.
It's been moved by Councilman John Racy and supported by Councilman Ryan Gabriel. Are there any questions, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Item 3B is to approve a materials recovery facility license for Annapolis Auto Parts, 36597 Annapolis.
Move approval.
Support.
It's been moved by Councilman Gabriel and supported by Councilman Webster. Are there any questions, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Item 4 are ordinances and amendments. Item 4A is the second reading and adoption of ordinance number 2017-07. This is amendments to Chapter 678, which is titled Minors in Possession.
Move approval. Support.
It's been moved by Councilman Racy and supported by Councilman Webster. Are there any questions or further discussion? No? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Item 4B is the second reading and adoption of ordinance number 2017-08, amendments to Chapter 211, which is Emergency Services Reimbursement.
Move approval. Support.
It's been moved by Councilman Webster and supported by Councilman Racy. Are there any discussions? Any questions or discussion? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Item 5 is appointments to boards, commissions, and committees. Item 5A is to approve the reappointment of Sean Staley to the Personnel Board until August of 2020.
Support.
Move approval.
It's been moved by Mayor Pro Tem Miller and supported by Councilman Gabriel. Are there any questions, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any, yes. Motion carries.
The next, these are all added, and I do apologize. While I was out during the holidays, I received some communications. I just wanted to kind of clean them up. So added item 5B is to approve the resignation of Darlene Hawley from the Historical Commission.
Move approval with a letter of thank you.
Support.
It's been moved by Councilman Racy and supported by Councilman Gabriel. Any further questions, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Next is added item 5C. This is to approve the appointment of Ann Zimmerman, 35067 Courier, to fill the unexpired term of Darlene Hawley on the Historical Commission until July 2020.
Move to approve.
Support.
It's been moved by Councilman Webster and supported by Councilman Gabriel. Are there any questions or discussion? Ann Zimmerman will be a good appointment to this commission because she has been attending the meetings just as a courtesy so that the Historical Commission and the
Society.
Historical Society have been in sync with one another. So I think this will be an excellent appointment. So thank you.
All those in favor?
Oh, I'm sorry. All those in favor?
Support.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Next item is added item 5D. This is to approve the reappointment of Debbie Sparks to the Housing Commission until March 2023.
Move approval.
Support.
It's been moved by Councilman Gabriel and supported by Councilman Webster. Any discussions, questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Next item is item 6, communications. Item 6A is a memo from the police chief regarding Animal Control Officer Carl Hicks. And I can just tell you a
Yes,
little bit
just,
about that.
yes, so the audience will know.
All right. This is a communication from Chief Maciag with a copy of the approval from the state that the new animal control officer has been certified by the state, and he went through all of the necessary training, attended all of the departments that are involved with the animal control, and he will be a full-fledged animal control officer and will be out taking care of the animals in the city.
Receive and file.
Next item is item 6B. This is a memo from the police chief and a thank you letter from a resident.
Could you read the letter?
Yes, this is a letter that was sent from a resident that states, "Thank you for protecting us when you don't have to. You put your life on the line to make sure we are safe, and we really love you for that." And it was signed by 5 children that all live in the same home. They sent this right before Christmas.
Receive and file.
The next item is item 7, general items for consideration. Item 7A is to approve a resolution. Ooh, I apologize. That was me. Item 7A is to approve a resolution to the Michigan Department of Transportation authorizing Ed Queen and Michael Byton to apply for permits to work within the MDOT right-of-way.
Move approval.
Support.
It's been moved by Councilman Gabriel and supported by Councilman Racy. Are there any questions or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Item 7B is to call public hearings for January 16, 2018, and February 6, 2018, at 8 p.m. to consider the proposed uses for the city's fiscal year 2018-19 Community Development Block Grant Program funds.
Move approval.
Support.
It's been moved by Councilman Gabriel and supported by Councilman Webster. Any questions or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Next item is item 8, administration reports.
There's nothing this evening, Mayor.
Thank you.
Okay. The next item are citizens' comments or requests on items not on the agenda. Citizens are to limit their comments or requests to 3 minutes. The city council asks that if you do have a question or concern, to bring it to the attention of the appropriate departments whenever possible. If you feel that the matter has not been resolved satisfactorily, you are encouraged to bring it to the attention of the city manager. And if still not resolved satisfactorily, to the mayor and the city council. The mayor The city council and the department heads may not respond to questions at a meeting, but will respond by the next city council meeting or as soon as possible once they have looked into the matter.
Anyone in the audience? No? Yes. You could just state your name and the street you live on.
Milton French, First Street. You timing me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I was going down to Annapolis, and very recently I saw the for sale sign for J.C. Park. I did some investigation, found that it is indeed up for sale, along with Kiwanis Park. So, I approve of selling land that's not benefiting the community. Those parks are a great asset to the community.
Okay.
In fact, I am a personal user of J.C. Park and have been for years. So I'm asking the council to reconsider their decision to put these two parks up for sale.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. French.
I'm not done.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
But the parks are a legacy that we have in the community. They're priceless. Once they're gone, you can never get them back. When the parks are developed, that's it. They're gone. I would like to see that, as I said, reconsider the sale of the two parks. One more thing to say. I think you should look for sources of revenue that continue. The sale of a park is a one-time source of revenue. It's like a sale of some asset, a car or something. You sell it and the money's there and then it's gone, used. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. French.
Madam Mayor, Council, my name's Vern Amos. I live on Stellwagen. I don't know what proper department would be concerned with this issue, but driving throughout the neighborhoods on the Neighborhood Watch group, I wondered if it could be added to the TV channels that the public is aware of, and possibly make some of the landlords of the rental properties post it to the renters, that when you have old mattresses, furniture, whatnot, or you're being evicted, that you need to call and have your residents put on that list so that the rubbish can be picked up. We've got rubbish sitting on corners and on streets for weeks and weeks on end. And with the rat problem we have here in Wayne, this is a perfect opportunity for them to find little houses and breed like little rabbits. So I would greatly appreciate it if we could do something about getting some of that rubbish picked up.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. Thank you.
The next item is item 9, items for the next agenda.
Are there any items next agenda?
I do, Mayor Rowe.
Yes.
You know, I've been following residents' input and comments on the parks that we have, and I see that Wayne takes great pride in their parks. We have roughly 18 parks in 6 square miles, and in reality, it's really 4 square miles because of Ford Motor Company. And if I may, Mayor, can I pass this little bit of information out that I collected that I would ask for the council to review? And I'd like to get some input from the council, and I can post this on the Wayne discussion board as well and get some input on them. We can have a discussion about what our opportunities are to revitalize our existing parks. There's some examples from some other communities of what they have been able to accomplish. I found it enlightening. So if I may, I would like to pass this out to you. And so if possible, on our next council meeting or the following, that we have a discussion about what we can do to, per se, revitalize, reinvent our park system. We have a great park system, but it's a little bit tarnished. and we want to try to refresh them and make better use of them in our neighborhoods. You know, our neighborhoods do depend on our park system. I think we have a lot of handicapped residents, we have a lot of senior residents, and if we can facilitate those park systems for them, I think we would get more use out of them, quite frankly. And here's some opportunities that I've seen from other communities that have been able to engage those concepts together. And also, secondly, I'd like to also have a discussion about, you know, the pros and cons on what we can do with the parking structure. In regards to, is it a possibility, what are our options there at this point? Is it a possibility of us looking into listing it with Colliers, for example? I don't know the answer to that question, but I'd like to get that thought process rolling.
And if I may, Mayor, I can have a memo on what my office has learned regarding the parking structure
Okay,
since the issue was last breached, because that has been, the issue was raised at one point, and my office has done some work on that matter that I
Okay.
can put into a memo for council prior to the meeting if needed.
okay, that would be fine.
Thank you. Great idea.
Did you give one for Councilman Sanders' packet?
Yes, I will.
Okay. All right. And then Councilman Porter also received?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Thank you. Are there any other items?
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
for the next agenda, I would like to discuss SIMCOG and the possibility of us rejoining their organization. And if I could ask the city manager if she would reach out to one of the representatives, maybe they could be at the next meeting to let us know about them and pros and cons of what they can do for us.
Sure. Yep, okay. That'd be Amy Malberg. Yeah. And then at that time, you might also ask her how much, what the dues would be for us.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
all right, anything else? All right, then. Okay,
Next item then is comments from members of the city council.
okay, we'll start with Councilman Gabriel.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Just like to wish everybody a Happy New Year. Hopefully, everybody had a good, safe one, and hopefully it's starting off on the right foot and accomplishing all the goals that you have set forth, and maybe helping accomplish some of the goals you weren't able to accomplish last year. I know City Council, we're definitely planning on doing a lot of different things and really brainstorming. As Councilman, our Mayor Pro Tem Miller had brought up the parks and things like that. I think it's awesome that we just continue finding new opportunity. And I would just encourage the public to help out on that as well, because along with our parks, you are our largest asset by any means. So, thank you.
Thank you. And Councilman Webster?
I also want to wish everyone a Happy New Year. I hope everyone had a great holiday. I'd just like to remind everyone that we do have 2 warming centers set up. Hype is open Monday through Friday from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m., Saturday from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m., and on Sundays from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Also, the police lobby is open 24/7, so if you know someone that needs to get out of the cold, that is another place that they can go to. Another thing that was brought up to me prior to the meeting was a concern about fire hydrants being covered up by snow. In the event of emergency and our fire department is out, they need to be able to access these. And if they're covered by snow, frozen over, that's going to take additional time for them to access these. So if you could please, when you're out, shovel 2 feet in every direction around these so they're easily accessible. And if you could possibly, put some sort of marker by them so, they're more easily recognizable and seen, that would be appreciated, I'm sure, by our fire department. And that's it for tonight.
Okay, thank you. Councilman Racy?
Thank you, Mayor. I too want to wish everybody a Happy New Year. I've had some phone calls and have actually witnessed this over the last few weeks, and mostly downtown, but I know it's other places too. Not everybody's shoveling their sidewalks, and I've seen handicapped residents and people in walkers having a hard time getting across the street or walking down our different areas. Also, our corners are really bad, where they can't get even onto the street. And I saw somebody with a walker trying to get over on Michigan Avenue and Wayne Road and having a hard time. And that was even with somebody trying to help them. So if we could have the ordinance officer look at that and not even wait for somebody to have to make a complaint. That's something I think that when these snow things happen, they need to just drive around, and if they see something, we need to start addressing it, because people don't think we address any of that anymore, and it's a big problem for our residents. And I really am concerned about our citizens that are stuck in their houses and they can't get out for just getting basic needs that they need on a regular basis because of the lack of concern about taking care of that situation. So I appreciate that to be dealt with. And then also with the warming centers, can we get some information from the city manager, if you could find out how many people are using it this year? And I don't know if we've ever kept track of that in the past. Just kind of interested to see how many people are using a warming center in our community right now. I know that there are some people that live out there. I'm wondering if they are actually using it or what's happening with that. I'd appreciate that. And then I wanted to talk just for a minute about the park sales. Looking at the parks is just not something that's taken lightly, and something that personally I prefer not to have to even be looking at. However, our city's in a really bad financial situation, and in my opinion, every single city property is an option to be looked at. If somebody made an offer on anything here, we'd have to look at and listen to it. Not all of our parks are able to even be sold because of deed restrictions, so we're very limited on what can be and cannot be. Personally, I have a hard time with J.C. Park. However, I know that we have to look at the options to see what is out there. It's going to be difficult, to see if there's anybody that actually wants to develop in our community right now. But we have to be open to that. It is not one-time money, because if somebody develops that property, that's long-term revenue, as in tax revenue. And the problem with our city is we need to right now figure out ways to bring in more revenue, and that's why these parks are being looked at. The citizens in the community don't want to have another millage, so we are looking at all options that are possible right now to try to figure out how to save this community. And we are looking at a city that I saw some comments online that, it's that by selling our parks, we're not looking at a healthy Wayne. I disagree with that. I think by looking at this, we are looking for a healthy Wayne, because this community is not healthy currently.
3-minute mark.
This community is currently not healthy, and we need to be looking at the financial health of this community also. Thanks, Mayor.
Thank you. And Mayor Pro Tem Miller.
Thank you, Mayor. First of all, I want to thank the DPW for keeping our roadways clear and being out there in a timely manner. I also want to encourage everyone to keep an eye on their loved ones, their older loved ones, in this time really deep freeze, cold temperatures that were occurring. They're very unsafe. Very unsafe. I know my mother hasn't been out of the house probably in the last 10 days, but going over there and just making sure that she's good, if Scott has what she needs and she's safe, that's all that matters. I also want to, I forgot what I was going to say. I'm sorry. I also wanted to say was, darn it. Yeah, really, as cold as it is. I'm sorry, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, I know what it is. We are going to be having some more snowfalls, and we had pretty good, participating in our getting our vehicles off the road for our snow emergencies. I would appreciate that again for our DPW workers and for the residents that are in your neighborhoods as well. I think that's been it's very important that we abide by these advisories. It's imperative, quite frankly, in this kind of weather. And I think with that, I would just want to wish everybody. We all hope to have wish the whole council here a new year, and I hope that we can work together. We've had some struggles in the past, but but through those struggles, we learned to build on that progress. And that's what it's all about. It's the progress to be made. So with that, thank you.
Thank you. let's see, this is an announcement. The Wayne Metropolitan Community Action Agency is offering 2018 free tax services again, and this is going to be held on Wednesday, February the 28th, and March the 7th, from 1 to 6 p.m. in the Wayne Public Library. And if you wish to schedule an appointment, please call 734-284-6999. And this flyer is available out in the lobby, and it is also on our city's Facebook page. So that's available. And then also, there is going to be a Martin Luther King Freedom Walk and ceremony, and that's going to be held at 9 a.m. on Monday, January the 15th. It'll be a 1-mile walk approximately. It'll be starting at the William Faust Public Library on Central City Parkway, and it will end at the Westland City Hall, where they will then have some light refreshments and fellowship there. So if you wish to attend, any members of council, I would appreciate it if you could let me know, so I can let the Westland City Hall know that you will be attending. And then with that, as other members of council have said, with these very, very frigid temperatures, just on the news today, a 96-year-old woman was found dead on a school field. She was found just in a nightgown, a bathrobe, and slippers.
Doorway.
And that's, to me, is just, that's unconscionable. She had been just diagnosed with Alzheimer's, and her family members said she lived alone. And then the police chief was on the news this evening, and he also said they had had a wellness call from someone out of state calling. They hadn't been able to reach one of their family members also in Roseville, and she was a 95-year-old woman, and they went to her home, and they found she had no heat. Her temperature was 33 degrees in the house, so she is now in the hospital with hypothermia. So please, people, reach out to your neighbors that you know are elderly. If you don't see some sign of something, if you know they're in the house, if you're afraid to go over there, please call the police department or the fire department. They can go in and do a wellness check on the person. They can do that. So please, call them and let them know. It's tragic when you think about someone that age possibly dying alone. That's just very sad. So please keep our elderly in mind, and the homeless people that you do see out there as well. Please tell them there are these warming centers available. As when they're open right now, yeah. But the police department is open 24 hours, and HYPE, I'm sure if we had a power outage, would be open as well in the evening hours. We could arrange that. But right now, they're open just until from 6 till 11 at night, okay? But please, take all of that into consideration this evening, and just be careful out there. Be very careful. Bring your animals in also. All right, with that, anything else? Motion to adjourn.
Support.
It's been moved by Councilman Gabriel and supported by Councilman Racy. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are stand adjourned.